wherever I am, the Isle of Bute never leaves me. In Govan, Glasgow, I see it. I'm going crazy. So I go to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and there, I still see it. I think of my great-grandfather, great-grand-uncle, how proud they were to come from Rothesay, and what great friends they were. When Charlie and I were filming our last video at St Colmack's Church, we met a lovely lady called Dorothy who knew a lot about her ancestors on the island.
The first of my ancestors came from an area just a bit north of from here, I think, and I pronounce it Strathlachlan.
Strathlachlan, yeah, that's
and
okay.
He came
up in Argyll
here because Lord Bannatyne he had his castle, but people didn't live here. So he, around 1800 or 1799, he put out word that if anybody had a particular skill and would want to come here, then I'm not sure of the details, but I think he possibly gave the ground for the people who came to build their house on. So my great-great-great-grandfather came from Strathlachlan area down to what was called Kames then.
Yes.
And I've just been filming it. He was either in that farm, but I think just past here, going towards Ettrick Bay, there's a farm up on the left.
Right.
And I think he was in there.
That's a halter farm, that's called. I'm pretty sure that's a halter farm.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, but he had, I think, an uncle, also McNichol, who was farming at Rabodoch, the other end of the island, that way.
Yes.
And he had a daughter. This Nichol McNichol married the daughter. and that was around 1799, and the house was finished down in Port Bannatyne in 1806, and he had children by then, moved from there down there in 1806. The house was built, still standing, still lived in.
Oh, the house is still there? Yes. So we can go and have a look at it later.
So here, Nichol McNichol's, I think they would be his great-grandchildren. Two of them are buried. Where are we here? You see that, this here, the stone? These are my great aunt and uncle here.
Oh, really? Yes.
And
right.
McNichol, Donald
yes,
McNichol.
Yes, again, you have to have two L's.
2 years.
Two L's.
2 L's, yeah.
And,
right.
Captain Robert Lowe, there. These are his two children, and they died in the 1860s of cholera and typhoid.
Right, sure.
So they were just about sort of 5 years old and 8.
In the 1850s and the 1860s, typhoid and cholera were big killers on the Isle of Bute, and actually it's amazing to think on this street that I'm standing just now, Bishop Street, according to this official report, and this is genuine official report, it was observed that in Bishop Street all teetotalers without exception died in the epidemic, while those who diluted their water with whisky lived. The alcohol killed the bacteria. So why did so many people die here in this cholera epidemic? Well, the reason for that was that the wells had become contaminated, and we can still see some of these wells. This was the main well, which is behind the metal guard opposite the castle. And as we go up the high street, there is a police station. When they were building the police station in the 1970s, when they were constructing the foundations, they were amazed to find a really deep well which had been forgotten about, but maybe the place name should have given a clue to this. At the top of High Street is St Mary's Well, and within living memory, attached to the metal ring, was a steel cup. So these were 3 of the wells which became contaminated at that time. This is an interruption to the video. This is a further interruption to the video to let you know that the last interruption and this interruption are now both finished, and we can return back to the video. Right.
At the same time.
Really? Oh, well, that's interesting to know that.
1806. It's sort of like this. It's
Yes,
got little
it is
windows.
kind of similar.
Yeah. Still the original chimneys, as far as I know.
Is that right?
Finished in 1806, and he and his wife lived
And that was
out
a
at the farm.
So when you say he, sorry, who was he again?
Three great-grandfathers.
3 great-grandfathers.
He built this.
And they were all McNichols.
All McNichols.
But what job did they do?
Tailor, master tailor.
Yeah. So where was their shop?
Probably one of these.
So one of these would have been the tailor shop as well. Is that right? Yes.
Yes, probably.
were they tailors for people on the island, or do you think they did more work than that?
Well, somebody once said that he did some work for the Marquis of Bute.
Okay.
But I've no idea if that's accurate.
Yes, sure.
But he would certainly be doing all the stuff around Port Bannatyne.
So sorry, what was his name again?
Nichol McNichol.
But what was his, do you know his first name?
His first name is Nichol.
Nichol. Oh,
Aye.
Nichol McNichol.
Nichol McNichol.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
Nichol
Oh,
McNichol.
well.
Yeah.
This would date from 1806.
It's in good nick, the build though, still, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yeah.
Just like myself.
If you come over here, the downstairs flats,
Right.
and these are the original staircases.
Oh, these are original staircases here.
Both
Yes.
sides.
Really? Both
And
sides,
what
yeah.
we do is we go up here.
Right.
Let's see what we should do here. No, I'm just thinking. You need
That's
to
the
go
original
through-
staircases.
And these are. I don't know if these are even original.
Right. Possibly they might be. We don't know.
So this is McNichol's land.
Oh, this was McNichol's land, yes.
Yes, in the early days, if people owned property, they put their first name and then land.
And would this land have been used for anything?
Oh, well, like this. No, it would be whatever up to there.
Yes.
I don't know what would be used when it was on an incline like
Maybe
this.
they might have kept hens or something. Who
You
knows?
know, that's,
Yeah.
yes, that's possible.
Well, of course, there was a lot of fishing went on. It was basically a fishing village.
This could be, you know, right here.
Yes. Because I know they used to dry fishing lines and all that sort of stuff, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did just down, there's a little road down there which they used to sit and mend the nets.
So you were saying that you came here one time and one of the residents had an old parchment,
Yes.
and you've still got a copy of the parchment, is that right?
It's the original parchment. He found it in the attic.
Really? Oh well.
And so he said, you know, you've got to have this.
Oh, that was good of him to give it to you as well.
Yeah, so it was basically a design of the buildings, the two buildings. So it's original.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. And do you know who designed the buildings? Like, who the architect?
Nichol McNichol.
He did it himself?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
He had an uncle in Rabodach who may have helped.
Right.
But,
Yeah, so in those days people kind of did it for themselves to a
yes,
great
he
degree.
didn't have, yeah. So all of that you see is the novels are original, and
Right.
probably just the window frames are new.
Sure.
Plastic.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well. And these buildings were well built. You know, they've stood the test of time.
Yes, and so the stairs up